In lesson 6-2, we'll be learning how to solve proportions. We've done this a little bit, but now we'll officially practice it with this lesson and worksheet. So step 1, we need to cross multiply, and step 2 is divide by the coefficient. There are possible shortcuts that you could see. For example, this problem, you could see from going to 2 to 6, because remember, we worked yesterday with checking for proportions, so what we are saying is that since these are proportional, the two ratios have to be equal. So 2 times 3 has to get us to 6. So A times 3 has to get us to 10. Well, I can't think of anything that can easily be multiplied by 3 to get to 10. So if that's difficult to do, what we need to do is just cross multiply. So 6 times A is just 6A, 2 times 10 is 20. Okay, now we will, step 2 is divide by the coefficient, divide both sides by 6. So that way A is equal to, because 6 divided by 6 is 1, and 1 times A is just A. So we're left with A. These kind of cancel. So 20 divided by 6 gives us 3.3 repeating. Go ahead and round to the nearest tenth, so we can just say 3.3. All right, so A equals 3.3. All right, let's try the next one. Here, I see that from here to here, we're dividing by 2. So from n divided by 2 is 7. So if you notice some relationships, as long as you show me what you're dividing or multiplying both by, you could say, okay, n equals 14. If you notice that, but you do have to show me this here to show me, that you are doing work. If not, just go ahead and cross multiply. So I'll go ahead and do this as well. So we'll cross multiply. We'll get 3n is equal to 6 times 7 is 42. Divide both sides by 3. Because that's our coefficient, the 3's go away, and n is equal to, now we can check it here by saying 42 divided by 3 is still 14. So we can go ahead and write it over here as well. Same answer. One way, we noticed a relationship here. So if you do notice those things, it could be kind of a shortcut for you. Otherwise, if you don't, just cross multiply and divide every time and you'll get your answer. All right, so here I notice I can do times 2 times 2, so we could say that V equals 10, or again, we can show the work. We can say that 4V equals 40, divide both sides by 4 to get V is equal to 10. Okay, so same thing either way. If you can notice a relationship, it's kind of a shortcut. If not, just cross multiply and divide by the coefficient, and you'll be there every time. All right, so now for this one, it's a little bit trickier because you notice I don't just have a variable there. So we're not going to worry about trying to find a relationship. We're just going to multiply right away. So 7 times 2x is actually going to be 14x. Because we can do the 7 times 2 is 14, and then that x, we still don't know what that is. Now that's got to be equal to 9 times 10, which is 90. Now divide both sides by the coefficient of 14 to get x is equal to, we got to jump on our calculator, 90 divided by 14, and that is approximately 6.4 if we round to the nearest tenth. Okay, so obviously that's not going to be an exact answer, but 6.4 will get us close. Okay, now for problems like this, I won't even try checking for a relationship. I just go ahead and multiply, cross multiply right away. So 2.8 times p, again, you're always cross multiplying. I like to always put the variable on the left side, so I do that one first. It doesn't really matter. So now let's do our 4.4 times 2.3, and we get 10.12. All right, now let's divide both sides by 2.8. To get p is equal to, all right, so now we got to take 10.12 divided by 2.8. So I already had that in my calculator. I just left it in there and hit the division button. And so this would be about 3.6. Okay, because these cancel, so I was left with p. Okay, again, since we have decimals here, I just cross multiply right away. I get 6.42 to n is equal to, let's try this, 5.1.5. I get about 7.5 there. All right, divide both sides by the coefficient. We get n is equal to, now I already had 7.5 on my calculator, so let's just divide by 6.42. So we get about 1.2. If we round that to the nearest tenth, it'd be 1.2. All right, and that's our last example for today, just solving proportions. You know, it's a nice way to find a missing number. You're going to be given three numbers. You're solving for that missing fourth number by using proportions, by cross multiplying and dividing.